Critics of President Trump's Ukraine strategy often assert that he is being manipulated by Russian President Vladimir Putin. However, when it comes to Israel, many of the same critics seem oblivious to the fact that Hamas is employing similar tactics against the Jewish state. They fail to acknowledge that Hamas is using ceasefire negotiations and partial hostage release agreements to regroup and continue its campaign in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu recently quoted a message from Trump, which stated, "Forget the partial deals, go in with full force and finish this." This is precisely what Netanyahu intends to do, but he must act swiftly, not only against Hamas, but also against other Iranian proxies. After a recent airstrike against the Houthis in Yemen, Netanyahu recalled the airstrikes that occurred against Iran earlier this summer. He said, "Since then, we've been systematically striking the remnants of the Axis, day after day, arena after arena. Together, we will continue to do it on all fronts, and with God's help, together we will continue to win." Trump told the Daily Caller that Israel is losing support in the United States Congress the longer the war continues. He's correct. And it's not just Congress that's feeling this way. Most Americans are growing weary of seeing misleading images of starving Palestinian babies. They're astute enough to recognize this as Hamas propaganda. However, they also understand that many people in Gaza are indeed hungry, with some suffering from malnutrition. Yes, the war must end soon. 3 years is long enough. Too many lives, both Palestinian and Israeli, are at stake. And what comes next? The Washington Post reports that the Trump administration has a post-war plan to establish a 10-year U.S. trusteeship in Gaza, aiming to develop it into a tourism resort and a hub for manufacturing and technology. The 2 million citizens of Gaza would be temporarily relocated to another country or to secure zones during the reconstruction process. It's important to note that Trump is a builder, and this vision for Gaza as a Middle East tech and trade hub could provide wealth and jobs for the Palestinian people. This stands in stark contrast to the rocket, tunnel, and war machine arsenal that Hamas has built in the region. However, this plan is unlikely to be accepted without the support and involvement of Egypt, Jordan, and the Gulf states. They need a say in the process and a stake in the outcomes as well. As for the resettlement of the Palestinians, there's still a prevailing not in my neighborhood attitude that complicates matters. There are no simple solutions to this situation. It will take divine intervention to bring about real change. So let's continue to pray for the peace of Jerusalem, an end to the Gaza war, and for the suffering of both the Palestinian and Israeli people to come to an end. That's it today from the Global Lane. Until next time, be blessed.